Can Mario and Luigi Brothership be beaten without items, gear, or plugs? Short answer is yes, but most people's answer would be long XP grinds to get overleveled and sweep through the game. Boring! I wanted to see if it was possible to 100% the game with these restrictions at the lowest level possible. Ideally, I'll force a fight with every enemy we encounter once. Well, at least once. That way we get enough XP for a reasonable gameplay experience. Will that even be possible? I guess it's time to find out. So I booted up my Switch and started my journey. Per usual. Me forgetting things? Who would have thought about it? Oh, did I mention this is my first playthrough? In addition to this challenge, I'm going in with absolutely no knowledge about the game, only a desire to succeed. So with that, we crash land in Concordia and start our journey in typical Mario and Luigi fashion with nothing. Hold on, let me stomp you. Yeah! Oh, I don't know if I got him or he got me. Aside from requiring myself to fight every enemy, the game plays exactly the same as a typical playthrough. Bing! Bong! Oh my god, they just can't handle it. The bing bong is too powerful. In the tutorial, we learn that you can block attacks. However, given that most attacks are able to be dodged and deal counter damage, we'll almost never be utilizing it. With the tutorial completed, we meet up with Luigi on Ship Shape, talk with everyone on the island, collect all the question blocks, even if we can't use what we gain. I have a perfection complex, sue me. And stumble upon the challenge menu. These are achievements built into the game that trigger said complex. As I strive to complete every single one. With nothing left to be found, we head to Rumble Island. Here we get introduced to my dearly beloved, the heal block. Since we aren't allowing items, the only way we'll be able to recover health and bro points will be with these heal blocks, as well as full heals upon completing main story missions. I toyed with the idea of not allowing them, but the game would have been absolutely miserable, forcing combat for hours.
2 hours later.
We haven't talked about bro points yet, but we'll save that for later. After immersing myself in all of the island's residents' artistic lore, we breeze through all the enemies throughout the island and are introduced to Luigi logic. Skill! Throughout the Mario franchise, Luigi's always been seen as a cowardly, idiotic fool. But Nintendo extended an olive branch and gave Luigi an intelligent charm, helping us progress throughout the game. What? There's no way. Get your fat ass through! Nice. We meet Issa Rock, who gives me yet another set of objectives my mind is keen on completing in full. Then comes Wilma. She's ambushed by guard arms, and we come to the rescue. With little resistance, we clear them out and help gather her tools.
That's mighty nice of you.
She rewards us with our first accessories! Which we aren't allowed to use. Our backpacks grow heavy with loot, we finish our first challenge, and we continue through the island crushing puzzles, making our way to our first lighthouse of many.
There it is.
Concordia was once a Pangea-like landmass connected by the lighthouses Zaket. Shh, we haven't met them yet. Oh yeah. Some evil being blew up the Unitree, which held the lands together and separated each community into drifting islands. Our mission is to reconnect them all and grow a new Unitree to restore Concordia to its former glory. But enough about boring lore. Upon returning to Ship Shape, we are met with Wilma, who tells us her children build it and make it are missing, and it's up to me to save them. She gives the cliche, I'm a good parent answer, and can't pick a favorite to save. So we go with the clear answer, build it. I would be so proud. So with our fork in the road chosen, we get in the cannon and head to Rainforest Island. Well, after going back to Rumble to collect all the items and sprite bulbs we opened up by connecting it back to Ship Shape. All of which we can use and are not totally because I have a collecting complex. Once in Rainforest, we trudge through the undergrowth, squishing invisilizards and throwing turnips in search of building. We meet our first Grampy Turnip during our wild search, which we learn is yet another huge collectathon item I'm going to need to search for. We finally stumble across Build It, and he tells us he can make us a hammer, one of the few extra mechanics we'll actually be able to use in this game. Oh, and we can use it to save Ark.
There's someone inside. We need to help them.
Some enemies have spikes or shields that don't allow you to deal damage to them with a jump attack. A hammer is the only way we can take them out. On our quest to get these fancy smancy weapons, we juggle around some toads and do some parkour to reach this island's lighthouse. After connecting it back to Ship Shape, Build It gets to work and crafts our spiny smashers. We smash open Ark's prison capsule and learn about the 4 great lighthouses, each of course taken over by some terrible mysterious creature. all of which goes right through one ear and out the other, because I've got hammers to test out. You're coming from?
Apple. Banana. Yes.
The game tries to invalidate my run by auto-equipping the rundown hammers that we totally didn't use for all those battles. After smashing through a field of seedlings, it was time to collect all the newly opened sprite bulbs, question blocks, and head to Twisty Island to find Build Its sister, Make It. Twisty Island is in shambles because their singing and dancing legends are missing their hair gel?
Huh?
Apparently this island thrives on the energy of musical performance. Without it, the illustrious twisted root withers away to dust. Lucky for them, I knew exactly what needed to be done.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a fucking workout. I'm sweating. Please, we gotta go faster.
No, I don't want to go again. Mushroom?
We get a mushroom for all that work? Are you kidding me?
I run through the forest, slam through some angry hogs, and meet Spiralia, stranded on the cliff and terrified by little wormies. Thankfully, she's willing to grind them up into a pulp and turn them into some hair wax for us, so we can sing and dance our way up to Make It and the island's lighthouse. Not before a long, annoying escort mission, of course. Finally, we get the glorious bug goo, slather it in Diode's hair, and play a little Dance Dance Revolution to celebrate.
Shit, we got an excellent.
The Twisty root rises from the excitement of our performance. We save Make It and connect the island back to shipshape. Noticing a trend here? This game's a big loop of mysterious rescue missions, reconnecting islands, and exploring the new areas accessible after receiving the Unitree's connector. Where's the difficulty? It's just a few islands away. Don't worry. The game rapidly ramps up in difficulty. It expects you to find stronger gear, better items to help you throughout the game. But all we get are a few defense and power points, so the terrible difficulty is just waiting to crush us. While the game's still fun, we explore, find our second Grappy Turnip.
Heard that already? Sorry.
Then Mario reaches level 8, unlocking our first rank up bonus. Every 7 levels you receive a new bonus, of which you can pick one. These choices are permanent and are very important to this run. Given that all enemy attacks are able to be dodged in some capacity, I was very focused on making the most offensive build possible. Our options for the first bonus were an extra HP, speed, or stash point every level up, an extra gear slot, which is absolutely useless to me because I'm not even using the one they gave me, and quick leveling. In a perfect world, stash up would have been the best option as it scales our chances to get a lucky attack, which does an extra 33% damage on enemy attack. However, I knew the late game was going to be a grind, so I opted for quick leveling for the extra 20% XP. Yeah! If you've played any of the older Mario and Luigi games, there was an option to boost any stat you wanted by spinning a wheel and getting anywhere from an extra 1 to 3 extra points in said stat. But Brothership doesn't exactly work that way. Each level up is linear and gives the same amount of stats every playthrough. Mario gets more bro points, speed, power. Luigi gets more defense, health, and stash. Later on, I'll be choosing bonuses to utilize each bro's strengths. You know what boosts my strengths? Liking and subscribing! So the hundreds of hours it took to make this video aren't flushed down the toilet. I like money! Back on Rumble Island, a big baddie is causing a ruckus. And no, I'm not talking about your sister. Garumble and his army of guard arms will give us our first true test of this challenge. Our first boss fight. Of course, the gear shop tempts us with an extra 11 damage and defense, but the temptation will just get worse and worse as we go. In the battle, we encounter attacks that both bros have to dodge, increasing the complexity of combat. After a few turns, Luigi gets a burst of logic and finds a weakness.
Luigi logic.
Story, the tingleberries, and each step was like a dance with danger. Any daring adventurer, stomach churned with anticipation. Yet Kermit, unfazed, clutched his trusty frog whip, ready to smack it across the track and navigate these.
I never was great at tennis.
Play tennis with his ass. How is that not it? Oh!
Third time's the charm.
He really doesn't want to end the story.
Boom! We smack Garumble in the teeth and stun our first boss. Boss fights are the only time Luigi logic is able to be used. Most times the logic will knock out the boss, allowing a turn or two of critical attacks, which are essentially guaranteed lucky attacks.
Pay attention because it's very important later.
With one final crit, we defeat Garumble on the first attempt. To this point, my feeble mind thought we could turn this into a deathless run. No spoilers though. We reach level 10, and in our celebration, we learn we're being watched. The return pipe allows us to fast travel to connected islands. We return to shipshape and get our first Bros attacks. Bros attacks are a super attack that allows Mario and Luigi to cooperate for huge damage. the final tool in our tool belt necessary for victory. Bro's moves use bro points. The stronger the move, the more points they cost. Mario gets his red shell attack, doing big damage to one enemy. Luigi gets the green shell attack, dealing spread damage to all enemies that aren't flying. Side quests are introduced, adding more character backstories, hidden items, and free gear and accessories. Yes, I know I can't use any of them, but 100% is 100%. I clear out the available side quests, find our first coral reef, and trek on to Floral Island. Here we meet Hydroceetals, which are the first enemy with an ability. Every few turns they're able to heal their allies. This is a children's game after all, so they go slow with adding new mechanics. Speaking of which, after clearing out hordes of Ceetals, Luigi remembers our first Bros move. No, not Bros attack. Bros moves are used in the field to progress through new areas. You've played a Zelda game before, come on. UFO Spin combines Mario and Luigi, letting us temporarily fly to cross large gaps. After a few failed abduction attempts on Ceetals, we finish the Doom Dodger Challenge by winning 100 battles in a row without a game over. Hooray! We get beans and super candy! Add it to the backpack hoard. Beans are one-time use items that increase specific stats. I considered saving these for a rainy day if the run got too hard, but they ended up just rotting away in the hoard, just like the rest of our loot. Shortly thereafter, we get the do-it-yourself medal, having defeated 300 enemies without any gear equipped. Yes, this achievement helped inspire the challenge. Our UFO spin helps us ascend the island and reach the lighthouse. Boom! Another island connected. Back on Shipshape, we listen to the town's hot side quest goss. Meet the Golden Grampy Turnip, track down Connie, and learn about her lost mentor, Cosette. Both Connie and Cosette are Watness, whose job it is to keep the Unitree happy and healthy. Ever since the destruction and separation of the world, Cosette has been missing. The current to the first Great Lighthouse is opened and seems to be inhabited by the strange figure that was watching us earlier. Side quests, reef, and lore upkeep completed, I head into my first dungeon. Dungeon shall begin. Right away, we were met with strong resistance. Spike Lees have crazy spinning patterns that are hard to read initially. Mario's brought to 7 health in the first encounter. Keep in mind, we can't heal. The only way I can heal is with a heal block, and there isn't one in sight. Connie follows us through the dungeon and points out the evil spite bulbs. In the absence of Connector, they've gone rogue, surviving on the stale energy left behind. I continue through the dungeon, but the enemies are relentless. Mario goes down, leaving Luigi to fend for himself. There are a few major downsides to having a down bro. For one thing, we only get 1 turn of damage dealt between having to dodge enemy attacks. 2, every attack we do deals less damage because they aren't able to have help. And 3, the down bro doesn't receive any of the XP from the battle. Gratefully, after a successful battle, the down bro is revived with 1 hit point. We may or may not be at 1 health for most of this run. The dungeon is filled with many puzzles to progress through the areas. Thankfully, shortcuts are easily dropped down after the first lap through. Luigi continues to get further ahead in XP as Mario just can't stay on his feet. It finally happened. We suffered our first game over. Well, rest in peace to the Deathless playthrough. Dungeon number 1, we're already beginning to see how much of a disadvantage we really are in. We deal less damage, we take more damage, and we can't heal. Oh look! Luigi's now a level ahead of Mario. Surely we'd be in better shape with extra HP, defense, and damage. Nope. The big bad boss room is teased, but it's locked. We collect both plug keys and see a heal block looming in the distance. That can only mean one thing. The Extension Core introduces the suspicious characters spying on us earlier, and they have something to do with the Great Lighthouse being filled with monsters. They run away and sick their beast Goblik on us. Bum, bum. Straight away, we get hit for 22 big ones, leaving Mario near half health. We start pelting him over and over again with bro moves to chunk him down, but our gearless damage is really showing the light. Luigi hatches a bright idea to launch Goblik into the tornado. Throw in the tornado. So long, Bowser. Stunning him, allowing for crits over 100. Oh, 111. Beautiful. He really didn't like that and enrages. He decides to play jump rope, but Mario wore his 500-pound pants today. Oh, we're screwed. Luigi's left alone, unable to use bro moves, logic, or do any damage at all. He gets swallowed and the boss heals for 70. Game over number 2 for the Naked Brothers. About 16 more bro moves, a few failed tornado throws.
I literally pressed it the cycle before.
One final red shell crit. Goblet goes down. Luigi hits level 15, getting his second rank up bonus. We go for stash up, giving him an extra stash point every level up. Connie reconnects the lighthouse, and the first step of our journey is completed. This challenge began as a way to enjoy a series I grew up loving, now as a skilled gamer man-child. Not beating the first major boss on the first try leads me to think this challenge will not only be possible, but enjoyable. Oh, how wrong I was. That's gonna do it for episode 1. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next step in this painful journey.
Thank you.